us hopefully, and we got a great guest here tonight.
Yes, we do. We have Mr.
The legend.
Johnny Pizzi, the legend.
The local legend. Actually, he's more than a local legend. He's a legend all around. I got a lot of history with this guy, and I got some laughs that.
We got some. I know we're gonna have.
We got some serious laughs with this guy, and
we're gonna have some great stories. He's got great stories.
We got at least 3 masters, and it just goes on and on. We had a lot of who's that? That's Nico.
That's Nico the dog. He wants to
get on.
He wants a piece of you.
Come here. Anyway, this is the first pit bull I have ever pet in my life. You want to show? I can't. Where is it? All right, forget him. I don't want. He might try to get me. Like, okay. There he is.
There you go.
Anyway, so tonight's the debate, 9 o'clock. What do you think about what's going to happen tonight?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think Pence is really going to hold his own. Everybody's really worried about him. They think that he's going to, make a mess. But I got news for you. He's cool, calm, collected.
He is.
And everything that she throws at him, he's going to be able to come back with, and he's got the ammunition, and he doesn't get sidetracked like our president. Yeah, he doesn't get sidetracked. He normally just takes his time and he says what he has to say, and although he will be debating the narrator and the moderator and the other vice presidential candidate. There's no doubt about it.
He's well calculated. That's what you're saying, right?
Oh, without a doubt, he has his stuff together. He's not shooting from the hip.
No,
he's well trained. He's a seasoned politician. He's going to do fine. Hey, before we go any further, the first thing I want to tell you guys to do is hit the share button. We need you to share, because the more you share, the more viewers we get. We're trying to increase our viewership, and eventually we're going to take this thing to the big time. You know what I mean? We're going to start getting sponsors. We'll have our own studio where we're at. We're also going to have our own website, and we'll do live streaming to all the different things, as well as coming from our own site. So we'll be able to go into all kinds of different, well, not just America, not just around this country, but we'll be able to hit the rest of the world as well. We can do it here too on Facebook, but things are changing. As of October 1st, things have changed. So we have to be very careful as to what we talk about so they don't shut us off while we're on Facebook. So before I go any further, though, I don't know if any of you guys saw the Life, Liberty, and Levin on Fox the other night, but Ted Cruz was live on Fox, and when he was absolutely amazing. Okay, and I want to plug his book because this is such a great book. The name of the book, it is One Vote Away, and what that's talking about is, they go into the gutter. They go into the gutter to get what they want, to get power. And if the Democrats get their way, they want to stack the court. They want to be able to just take our entire freedoms away. I mean, we've got so much. They want a one-party rule system. That's what they want. They want the Democrats. They want to do away with the Republicans. They want to be able to have 10, 12 people on the Supreme Court so that the courts become legislation rather than the legislators doing the legislating. They want to have the courts do it. This book unravels all of it, and it tells you so much stuff regarding the court system. It is amazing. But there are so many different things, that that they've tried to do within the court over the years. Did you know that Joe Biden led committee after committee to do away with the Electoral College?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. He tried to do away with the Electoral College.
That's what he was a senator of course.
Right, yeah. As a senator. And it was committee after committee. He also, I'm trying to see what else. There's so many different things. He wanted to do away with the committee process. He wanted to, it's a hard time. Sometimes I have a hard time reading my hieroglyphics.
You need my glasses?
No, it's just my writing. It's like, how you doing?
You actually don't need.
You go Wuhan. We go Wuhan. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, but Biden he led the committee to destroy the constitutional process.
Right.
He wanted to do away with it completely. What else did he do? He's done so many wonderful things. I mean, let's see. He said he graduated top in his class.
Yeah.
And he was at the bottom of his class in law school. He was like third from the bottom of his class.
Right.
Okay. Then also he plagiarized. He led the way to undermine the confirmation process. And he was on committee after committee for that as well.
Right.
So this whole thing, this one vote away, is all about this confirmation process with Amy Coney.
Did you hear the other blunder he made the other night about the stocking the shelves? Another racial remark.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine this guy one after another, and no media attention?
He can't help himself.
Yeah, he's a boob.
That's why I hope in the next debate that the president just lets him talk and bury
Let
himself.
him talk. Let him talk
and bury himself.
Let him talk.
And like you said, can I talk now? Is it my turn? You know what I mean? Make the
let him go.
Yeah.
Let him go. As a matter of fact, I actually suggested ask Chris Wallace, humiliate him. Mr. Wallace, may I speak now? That's the President of the United States saying that just really pander. Like, really, Trump can't do it. He's who he is. Not to get off the subject, but before we bring up Johnny, what about the mask? We were just talking about that, you and I and Johnny, about Gavin Newsom. Get this one. I don't know if anybody's heard it. They want you to wear a mask while you're eating, take the mask down, take a bite, chew it, put the mask back on. I just can't even take anymore.
It makes no sense to me, but it's the way we're going. If they get their way, this is what you have to understand. What is on the ballot? On this ballot this time, this isn't just about president and vice president. This is about your freedom.
No question about it.
Your freedom.
It's beyond.
I mean, you got Gavin Newsom in L.A. You got Cuomo in New York. He just closed all the houses of worship. He doesn't want any mass gatherings are going to spread the disease. Listen, if you have half a brain in your head, okay, a half a brain, you don't even need a quarter of a brain in your head, you'll understand that united we stand, divided we fall, okay? And they're trying to divide us. They want to single us, make us alone.
Doing a hell of a
in
job.
our life. If they can separate us and keep us from getting together, they can conquer America, and they can take away every single freedom. They want to do away with the Constitution. They do not want freedom of speech. They don't want the Second Amendment. They don't want religious freedom. If you can't see that, especially if you're sitting out there and you're a Christian and you're out there and you're saying, "Oh, I'm going to vote for Biden," you need to really sit back and think about this. This is the party that doesn't want to just kill babies. They want to kill full-grown, full-term babies right up to birth. I mean, come on.
But you got to understand something, Billy. This has nothing to do with voting for Joe Biden. This is about voting against Donald Trump. That's all it's about.
I agree.
That's all it's about.
I agree. But you know what? Donald Trump is the only thing standing between us and our freedom.
They hate him. They hate him that much.
Well, so again, if you have a brain in your head, if you have a half a brain, you need to be able to discern whether or not your life is on the line, whether or not you're ready to give it up. Because your life is going to change.
No question.
If on November 3rd, they vote for Biden, we have invited, Biden wins this election. On November 4th, watch how things start to change. As far as January,
virus will be gone.
Huh?
Virus will be gone.
Oh yeah, the virus will be gone. But
poof, magic.
But then don't forget. Maybe it won't be, because they have to instill fear.
Before we go any further, you think you're going to see anybody actually doing the mask chewing? Do you think we're going to see that?
I tell you what, if I see that, I'm going to scream at them because I'm in restaurants all the time.
No.
I am really going to just say, "Are you out of your mind?"
You are in restaurants. Every time I call you at the
Every time you call me,
you should have stocks in there.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we go any further, let's bring Johnny up. I'm dying to get some stories down. I love this guy, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Pizzi and I have a history, as Billy and Johnny himself. But some of the stories are so funny. You had to be there, and even the 9/11 tragedy. Without any further delay, let's bring him up. The local legend, Johnny Pizzi. Here's Johnny. Hello, great to be here.
All right.
Oh.
Wow, I am so happy to be in this condemned building on Route 1. It's great.
You made it.
I've made it in the entertainment world. I'm between Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson right now, and I just lost half my Facebook friends.
No, you did not. Between yours, three different feeds going right now, we should have a good amount of people,
Yeah, I
hopefully.
got 4 people.
4?
Hey!
We're gonna have tens of people watching.
That's all right. That's
Yeah,
okay.
no.
We're doing this for ourselves mostly, having fun with it. What do you think, buddy? How you been?
I can't complain. Well,
How's-
no, I can't complain. I want to work. I want to
Yeah.
go back to work.
We're all-
I want to
we're all-
entertain people.
We're all in the same. That's why we're doing this actually, just for that mostly. Yeah, but back in the height of the lockdown, Billy and I were doing every Friday night. We were having fun with. But I think people are now branching out, so that's why not a lot of people are watching as they were back in March and April and May.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah. At this point, we are getting to the point where I believe they're going to start trying to close it down again because the trend that's going on in New York and California, and we happen to be in another blue state.
Yeah.
So I got a funny feeling they're going to do that to us. It's going to be a drag, but
But you've been working though, Johnny, a little bit at Giggles, right?
Yeah. You know, we've been doing shows up at Giggles. I'm there every other weekend, but you know, after 35 years of working every single weekend, you know, and then all of a sudden somebody flips a switch and boom, you know,
Yeah, everything's gone.
a great part of your income is gone.
Not to mention social life. It's a social business we're in. All
God,
three of us,
yeah,
you know.
and so you know, we get up every day, put one foot in front of the other, and
Trip.
try to make it to the next day. But
It's awful. Everything's been hit. Restaurants, 3,400 restaurants, and we spoke about this last week when we had Paul D'Angelo on last week. You didn't see that, right, Johnny? We
I
had
haven't seen it yet.
the great Paul D'Angelo, wherever you are. Hi, Paul, and
Funniest guy
if
in
you're
the
watching.
world. Oh yeah.
But 3,400 restaurants have been closed down permanently. Isn't that nice?
Well, I just got the word today that 2 legendary restaurants may close in December, the Continental and Angelica's, if things don't change.
Same family, yep.
Yeah, same family, a great restaurant. They're
Good
tons
people.
of entertainment. You guys, I've come to see you there at Continental many times, and another place of entertainment, you know, gone.
Could be gone,
So,
yeah. It looks that way.
You know, just
what really stinks is that they'll knock those places down and they'll put up
Condos.
condos and apartment buildings.
Mhm.
They'll rent it all out, and then it will never come back. So we have one more place or 2 more places now where there's absolutely no entertainment. Something's got to give for us guys. I'll tell you.
But you know what, Johnny? We're here having fun at doing what we're doing. We're not making any money, but that's okay. If people are home and just getting prepared for the debate tonight, you get to look at us for an hour before.
some people don't need money; they're millionaires.
I wonder who you're talking about. Who's that guy over there?
Yeah.
People could be watching right now. I'll have calls with an attorney. Will be calling tomorrow. Johnny was at my wedding. I gotta say, I'll be honest with you. Johnny was at my wedding. That worked out great. And
I had the. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I had the under.
no, but I gotta say, Johnny, I swear to you, there's many funny stories we have over the years. We've done at least 100 shows together.
Oh,
More.
easy.
Going
But
back-
some legendary shows. I mean,
But before you go on, I want to just say Johnny Pizzi is a generous guy. You know, not only does he do things for charity, he was one of the highest gifts that I received at my wedding. I swear to God, doing the top 3 or 4, unbelievable.
that $50 went a long way.
It's not when I go to a wedding, people say the same thing. Should I put you down for the regular $10? No, but seriously, Johnny, you were one of the top. When me and the ex went back to the hotel that night, we were looking through the, and I said, "Wow, Johnny Pizzi gave me that kind of money. I got to tell him." I think I remember telling you. I couldn't believe it, but thank you anyway. He's a generous guy right here. But
Thank you.
some of the stories are just. Let's get back to. Do you have any stories with Billy? Any funny stories? Because there's not many going to beat this.
No, but we go back a long way.
No, I know that. You
we
probably go
have
back longer.
I mean, he started comedy with my former brother-in-law.
Yep,
that
Bob
right?
Marson.
Bobby
yeah.
Marson, yeah.
Yeah.
They started doing that in Malden, at the Chinese restaurant in
Yeah, the
Malden.
Broadway East.
Wow,
Yes.
imagine the Broadway.
And
East.
we had, can you believe, Billy, we had Sam Kinison
Wow.
at the Broadway East, and that's one of my favorite stories of all time.
Tell us.
One of my favorite.
Was you there, Billy? Did you see Sam?
No,
Kinison?
no, no. I just.
What happened was I got a call on a Wednesday. Now we did Friday night shows at the Broadway East, and on the Wednesdays I got a call from Mike Clark and said, "Hey, would you like to have Sam Kinison at the Broadway East?" I go, "I can't afford Sam Kinison. He just got off the HBO special, Mama. You live in a desert. You know what this is? This is sand. You know it's gonna be. It's gonna be sand." So I said, "I can't afford him." He goes, $200. I go, "What?" I go, and I couldn't advertise, but I don't care. It was worth it, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll never forget. I was so excited. I'm going to meet my first HBO big star. So I go to pick him up at the Bicentennial in Revere. It was like a Howard Johnson's in the back.
I remember that, yeah.
And I remember knocking on the door, and this girl answered, and she weighed about 30 pounds. And she said, "Can't you seem to wake Sam up?" So I went in, and I'm all excited. I'm going to meet my big HBO star. And I look, he's lying face down on the bed, just pants on, no shirt. And I'm like, Mr. Kinison, we got a show in less than an hour.
This is true. This is
True story. And so then he gets up and he smells his shirt and he puts it on. He smells his socks, and I'm going, "This is my HBO star."
You can flip it. I had to pull it down.
I go, "This is my HBO star. Oh my God!" You know, then he puts on his jacket. And "Honey, do we have any Moet left? We drank it all last night, Sam. We have any Coke? We did it all last night, Sam." And I took him to the Broadway East. Now, don't forget, the country had only seen 7 minutes of his act, and I got to see like 45 minutes. It was shocking, but so funny. And I got to hang out with him, and it was the night before he was going to film Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield.
Wow.
But he told me his life story, and you know, it was one of my memorable things. And then 6 months later, he's traveling the country with tour buses, selling out everywhere. And I'll never forget, this is one of my favorite stories. So now I called Lenny Clark up, who was on the show at the Paradise in Boston. I said, "Can you get into the show?" He goes, "No problem. I'll leave your name at the door." I buy Moet. I put it down my pants, and there was plenty of room. And then I went to the Stitch at Paradise. I went upstairs and looking at all the rooms till we see where Sam Kinison is. And I walk into the room, and there's like Aerosmith and big name celebrities all in there, and they're doing some crazy stuff, if you know what I mean. And I went over to Sam. I said, "Sam," and I pulled up Moet out of my pants. I said, "Sam, I didn't forget you like Moet." And he just looked up at me and he went, "Yeah, thanks a lot." And he kind of blew me off. But I didn't care. He was with the biggest names in show business.
Were you a fan of his back then?
Oh, I loved Sam Kinison.
Even before you knew, was he a star already?
Because when I saw him on HBO,
Right.
the Young Comedians, I mean, he was the
And he was at the
funniest
Broadway
thing.
Manor?
Broadway East.
Broadway
So now, so as I walk out, there's a long corridor, and I'm walking down, and I hear, Johnny, come over here. And I go over to him, and he puts me in the head, like, he wraps his arms around me, squeezes me, and goes, "I am so sorry for what I just did to you." I said, "Sam, it's all right." He goes, No. He goes, "I'm so sorry." He goes, "This show is dedicated to you." And he's squeezing me. "I'm sorry." And so I go and I sit down, and then he comes out later on in the show with the Moet. "I was supposed to do an hour-and-a-half show, but that Johnny Pizzi got me stoned." You know, it was one of my...
Did you ever see him do the Are You Lonesome Tonight bit?
Oh, God, yeah, he did it
Hysterical.
on Johnny Carson.
On Johnny Carson,
Yeah,
that's
he did it on
hysterical.
Johnny Carson, yeah.
But we have some crazy stories, Joe. Let's share. Well, first of all, the night of the 2001 was 9/11.
9/11,
It was
yeah.
Tuesday, and we had a show on a Friday night. 3 days later, after 9. Now we don't have to tell you that this country was a mess. Just I don't know. It's compatible to now. I think it's worse today. Much worse. But anyway,
because we have 7 months. This is
7 months, exactly. Everybody was back to work the next day, a couple of days. But we did a show up in Johnston, Rhode Island, Johnny, myself, and somebody else.
And his lovely wife, Shannon.
And and we ended up, I don't know how we did. It was 3 days after. We had about 400 tickets sold. 9/11 hit, and we had about 150, maybe. We lost about
close to 200
we
people.
lost half the people because of the people would. Anyway, Johnny had to go out. They come in there with a. You still have that shirt?
Yeah, the flag.
It was a flag shirt like
Yeah.
this, and I don't know how you did it, but you opened up and you got people laughing. It was amazing. It was so devastating. Right, Johnny? You usually stay the whole night.
Yeah.
You could have left.
Oh, yeah.
But he stayed, and he did his job perfectly. I don't know how he did it. I actually said to you before, I said, how are you going to go out there and make people laugh? 3,000 people just died.
Yeah.
We've been attacked. He did his job beautifully, but I remember doing American Trilogy at the end of the night. And I remember people were standing up,
Yeah.
hugging each other, crying,
Yeah.
holding each other, crying on the Trilogy song. It's unbelievable. I never experienced anything like that in my life, and you were part of that. But get to a funny story.
They weren't crying because it was that bad, though, right?
Could have been.
But you know, I did 7 weeks after 9/11, I did a big show at place in Stoneham, the what do you call it? The Stoneham Theater. Stoneham Theater. I had the biggest names in comedy. I had singers. Joe, you sang for me, yeah. And when I tell you, I had I was raising money for the firefighters.
Yeah, the firemen.
Yeah, and
New York Fire Department.
I raised $8,000. It was on
remember
a
that.
Wednesday night, and it was amazing. I drove the following Sunday. I drove to New York City to the closest fire station to 9/11, and I handed them a check for $8,000. And it was just amazing to see
That was a
all
good
these
night.
candles and pictures of the firefighters, and it was so.
That's the first night I met Bob Seibel. That
Oh,
night,
really?
2001.
Bob, unforgettable guy. But that was one of the highlights, and I think I probably did the first benefit fundraiser for 9/11 because it was only 7 weeks.
Was Lenny there?
Lenny was there. I did it all I did the advertising by myself. I did everything, and then the Stoneham firefighters who could have sold more tickets for me said, Johnny, we're so sorry we didn't back you up even more. We didn't realize what a show you would put on.
That
It
vividly.
was incredible.
But we have another funny story with Engelbert Humperdinck.
Oh yeah,
Or we could go out to the other one.
No, you got to tell the Engelbert
The
story.
toilet bowl
Okay.
story is funny.
So let me. So the Engelbert, I was opening up for Engelbert Humperdinck. I was doing 2 nights. I did one. The first night, South Shore Music Circus, and then the Cape Cod Melody Tent. So the Saturday night went fantastic at South Shore, and then so the next night I said I'm going to invite Joey Canzano and his gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful, absolutely stunning fiance, Shannon.
First it was D'Angelo last week. This week it's Johnny Pizzi. I can't catch a break. Go ahead.
So anyway, so I said, Joe, why don't you come down? Because I'm going to try to get to meet Engelbert tonight. And so anyway, when I got there, Engelbert's manager come up to me and said, oh, by the way, I told Eng all about you. He loved you. I said, would I like to meet him after the show? And he runs into his dressing room and he goes, Eng would like to meet you too. It's beautiful. So I go out and do the show. Thank God. It went fantastic again. And as he was walking by me, giving the thumbs up, and he went out. And what a show Engelbert put on. It was absolutely incredible. I watched the whole thing. And at the end, he closed with a Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis tribute.
Wow.
Oh, it's incredible, right? So now the show ends. All the people in the band, their families go into his dressing room. They're there about 25 minutes, and I see him shooing them all out. And then he waves me on. I go, come on, Joe, we're going to go meet Engelbert Humperdinck. So anyway, we go in, and what a guy. He offered us
He smoked a whole cigar. That's how long we were with him.
Yeah.
A bottle of wine he polished off.
And so he offered, he's like, have a cigar, I don't smoke any. And then he goes, have some wine. So I drank some wine, and we started talking about the business and show business. And then I'll never forget, so anyways, so Joey's there with Shannon, and I think Engelbert was like looking at Shannon going,
No, that's impossible.
no, you can't help but to look at Shannon, you know.
All right, go on with the story.
So anyway, all of a sudden Joey goes, hey, Engelbert, I do you. And Engelbert's like, what? He goes, no, I do you. And Engelbert's like, what's he talking? I go, oh, he's a singer impressionist. And he goes, yeah, you know, I do Willie Nelson, Dean Martin, Perry Como, and I do you. So he goes, oh, okay. He goes, so now we're talking about Vegas. We're talking about, I go, you know, you miss Vegas when it was run by the mob. He goes, don't worry, the mob still has a big hand in it. And he goes, I go, really? So Joey says to Engelbert, he goes, hey, Engelbert, I think I'm going to have you sing on my wedding. He goes, I think I'm going to have you sing on my wedding. So Engelbert's like, well, if you got $40,000.
I think it was more than that, but
yeah, he goes,
we were having fun with them.
He goes, 6 songs. I did it for, at the, John Gaudi's daughter's wedding.
Yeah, John
6 songs, $40,000. So at that point, Joey said, maybe you won't be singing at my wedding, Engelbert.
It could have been 140,000.
But the best part is when I was arguing with him about Sinatra. He hated Sinatra.
Oh yeah. So the best.
Yeah.
So listen to So anyways, it goes. You know, I do Sinatra, and Joey goes, yeah, I do Sinatra to Engelbert, and he goes, oh my God, Sinatra, he was amazing. So Engelbert's like, yeah, he wasn't a good guy. Joey goes, what are you talking about? I love Sinatra. He was the best. Oh, Sinatra. And Engelbert, no, he hurt a lot of people. He goes, he was my idol. And Engelbert goes, don't idolize Sinatra. He's down there, not up there.
He hated him.
So Joey goes, yeah, but I go, Joey, shut the f up. Will you please? You can tell he doesn't like Sinatra. So then Engelbert goes, oh, here's the story. I'll tell you why. He goes, I was recording. I rented a recording studio in Spain, and I'm going to record this song. It cost me a fortune, but I wanted to record a song called Strangers in the Night. All of a sudden, I'm just getting ready to record, knock on the door, two guys, you know, black shirts, white ties. He goes, you're not going to record Strangers in the Night. He goes, what are you talking about? I rented this place. It cost me a fortune. He goes, no. Sinatra wants it, and when he wants it, you're not going to record
That's
it.
true story.
If you know what's good for you. He goes, yeah, but no. You're not recording it. And as we can see, guess who recorded it?
He actually tells that story in his concerts, but he doesn't get as graphic as he did with us.
Right,
but
yeah.
No, that was a fun night. We had some fun.
Oh, that was great.
But we did a lot of shows. We up in Plymouth, John Carver Hotel.
Yeah.
Remember Biagio's?
Oh,
That was a fun place.
It was amazing.
Yeah, we had a lot of
and
fun.
you know, Joey, if you can remember, the audiences were like from start to finish.
It's a different world.
I went on.
20 years.
I did stand up, and then this beautiful girl you had on the show.
Oh!
Shannon, the beautiful Shannon, gorgeous. Whoa! So arthritis. So anyway, so anyway, she'd come on, she'd sing. I'd go back out, do a little magic, and then Joey would come out and just blow the lid off the room. I mean, it was just, what more could you ask for a night for entertainment?
You
It was
couldn't
just
get
amazing.
those nights anymore.
No, it was amazing.
Remember the legendary voices? We used to have an Elvis impersonator, and you know, you couldn't pull that off. We used to sell 300 tickets at Angelica's. You know, Al Fatucci and those guys,
Yeah, of
Ziggy
course.
and Ronnie. You couldn't do that today. It's sad. The world is, in 5 years it's changed, let alone 7 months.
Yeah.
It took 3 months, right? They cut
4
our-
months.
They cut our legs out in 3
months.
3 months.
So imagine 20 years ago. So
Where they actually changed the attitude of the whole country, and it changed to the point where nobody will go out and be
No.
entertained. Well, how much do you guys struggle to fill the tent?
Well, you know something? People, when Lenny Clark is there, he sells out. Okay, Lenny Clark. Steve Sweeney gets a good crowd. Paul D'Angelo gets a really good crowd. Other than that, there's not a lot of great draws. You know, people still come out to Giggles because they want to get out of the house. Still have pretty decent crowds when those other big guys aren't there. But people do want to get out. We're supposed to maybe in 3 weeks, if Sauga stays in the yellow, go inside. And I'm just wondering, are people going to want to go inside to be entertained? That's the...
I sure hope so. I really do.
Yeah, I mean,
the whole social distancing thing it's put a crimp in everything. I mean, right now, I said this last week too, but I'll repeat it. Every Friday night, I'm at the wharf, at the
Right.
Marina restaurant at the wharf, and I'm outside. If the weather's bad, I'm out of work.
Right.
Because you can't sing inside.
you're still there?
I'll be there Friday night, yes.
I don't know how it's for you, Billy. All right, so as a comedian, I'm just giving you the past couple of weekends I was at Giggles. One in particular weekend was pretty cold. Okay, matter of fact, it was the Paul D'Angelo weekend.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, you
there.
come up, yeah. And I got to tell you, it just got really cold. My hands are like 2 pieces of ice. People got, blankets over them and jackets. And I got to tell you something, folks. It's not that easy to go out and make people laugh when you're uncomfortable sometimes. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's a task. Thank God, myself and the other comedians, we got great comedians up at Giggles. They're able to do it, but it's not easy, and
It's not easy to do it when it's a healthy
when it's
environment.
warm, yeah,
You know what
right,
I mean,
right.
stand-up comedians I don't know how you do it because, I mean, if I start telling, one time, another funny story at the John Carver Hotel, you know the little Viagra joke?
that still works great.
I was backstage dressing up, going on. What happened, we had a format. You'd go on,
Yeah.
Shannon would go on in the middle, and then you'd go back on for 10 minutes till I get dressed, because I'd be running her sound. So you had already did the joke, and I come on and did it. And I did, nobody laughed. So
now you hear that, folks? I do my joke, okay? And then Joey comes out and says, I think I'll do Johnny Pizzi's joke. Yeah, I'll do that again.
And I'm looking at people, and I look down at Shannon, she's going, I go, yeah, hi. And she's like, I said, what's the matter? He goes, Johnny already did the joke. Oh, I felt like a worm.
It was a funny joke. And that girl that you had in the show, Shannon, she was a big part of that Shannon. I'm telling you, I still have dreams about Shannon. I have dreams.
And dry up.
Dream.
Dream.
So
we had fun.
So Billy, tell me something. What is one thing that you miss in performing?
Oh, I love theater. I love doing
Oh, we
theater.
doing those shows at the
Stoneham Theater.
Those were just absolutely. And I got to tell you, I still, people to this day, they stop me and they, we saw you in those shows in Stoneham, and they loved the last days of Doo-Wop. And then
yeah, I mean, you were in the very first one.
Yeah,
right?
I was in we did 2 years of Last Days of Doo-Wop. Then did you do Doo-Wop the Disco?
No,
you did the.
I did the other one.
The other ones, yeah.
The other
and
two,
they were
the last two. I did the last two.
And those were amazing shows as well. Unfortunately, last year I was so busy and I was traveling and I couldn't put 100% into the shows, which I have to put 100%. I can't just go in and not rehearse.
Well, you were sorely missed. I want you to know.
Is Vegas all done, Johnny?
No, I'm not just blowing smoke up your
No,
rear.
thank you, Billy.
I'm dead serious. I mean, you brought something to the table that was just it kept everybody loose, happy, and we went through some tough situations in the show.
I know.
We have 13, 14 people in a cast.
Yeah.
That I mean. And everybody's a different personality.
Yeah.
I mean, some years you guys had even more than that.
Yeah. Well, Richie Willis did a great job, getting the talent, putting it together, putting the writing it and directing it and doing everything and singing in it, and he an amazing talent. And and I felt, believe me when I tell you, I felt awful about not being able to do it last year, but I couldn't put 100% in when I do something. And you know what I love? That character, it's a Jerry Lewis character. We called him Mookie, and I, with that character, I did magic, and they let me sing a little bit, and I had fun doing it.
You even got him to dance too.
Yeah,
right?
I
did the moonwalk.
Yeah, the moonwalk of Jerry Lewis, and the thing was, but what I loved about it, Billy, little kids that went with their families. I'm talking 7, 8-year-old. Would come out and they were like, "Oh my God, we love the Jerry Lewis." And that would it related to 7-year-olders and they related to 85-year-olders. And that's what was so great about it. And I do hope Richie does it again. Probably won't ask me to do it, but he don't like me anymore.
Okay, no, I gotta say, Johnny is one of the most polished all-around performers, because when I used to work with him, I used to love it because there's a lot of great comedians out there. We all know them. There's a lot of great names, and you're one of them. But what you have is that special edge, is because when I would remember going to one of our shows, there'd be people already having dinner, and Johnny would be already in the mix, doing card tricks, putting people in a good mood. Not all comedians can do that. Most of them, let's face it, they stand on the side like a stiff.
Yeah.
And they don't talk. Some of them are grumpy. We know. What?
They got their shtick, and if they don't have you know what I mean?
No, Johnny warms the place up, and that magic is big. And you're going to have the way about. You can't just say, "Hi, I want to do a trick." No, he just, I don't know how you did it, but you did it. And the day after, 3 days after 9/11 was the most impressive. I always tell that story, remember? I always tell it.
That was an amazing night. And
toughest night.
The toughest night. People were there only because they didn't want to lose the money. And you could just see it in their faces, the grief and everything. And
3 days after 9/11. The funny thing about it, that day, I don't know if you recall, but there was a day or two after, I believe it was that Friday, and I remember going to the Stop and Shop, and there was at 12 o'clock, everybody stops and freezes. So imagine me walking around Stop and Shop not knowing what's going on. I see everybody stand there like this. Nobody was moving.
Why were they doing that?
It was some sort of a national freeze or a moment of silence, national, at this one time. So I'm in Stop and Shop walking around. Everybody's frozen. And I'm looking around. I thought I was Lost in Space. I couldn't believe it. No, seriously, I was freaking. I said, what's going on? People are just standing there like this. And I'm saying, and they're not looking at it. They're looking straight ahead. One moment of silence. The whole store, except me.
Wow, I didn't know
That's
that.
true.
That was-
Absolutely. I remember it was the Stop and Shop in Revere near Shirley Ave, near the Wonderland,
Right.
over there. I just remember that, and it was kind of comical. You could have put that in a joke. I've given you some ideas for jokes,
Oh
haven't I?
no, Joey. Off stage, you are hysterical. Let me tell you, when you tell a story off stage, I don't know what happens when you do it during your show.
Well, what happens is, no, the reason why you're saying that is because I have tried to do a couple, I'll get a couple of laughs.
Oh, of course.
But you guys, the good thing about us, Bill, if we start telling a joke, we could press a button and start singing. If we're bombing.
Yeah.
That's a couple of jokes that's going down the toilet. I just thought, okay, strangers in the night. You guys, he's a dead meat up there.
I got to tell you something for all my friends on Facebook, and I mean this. Let's see, Lenny, who's that? I don't know who's calling me.
You have to punch that on. Did you punch it on Do Not Disturb?
No, he didn't. That's Lenny.
That a boy.
That's Lenny Clark.
Lenny Clark is
Hi,
calling.
Lenny.
Hi, Lenny.
I hope he's watching
Hi,
us.
Lenny.
Hi, Lenny. We just
Hi,
missed.
Lenny.
He just ignored your call.
Sorry.
Go ahead, continue.
No, and I mean this. When I tell you, there's nobody around that sings like these two guys. For singer impressionist, Joey Canzano and Billy. I'm going to tell you, Mike Clark. Whenever he hears that you're singing, anyway, he goes, "Oh my God, he's my favorite." And
That's
I mean
awesome.
that, yeah.
I appreciate that.
So you guys are
it's
just
nice to hear.
tremendous talents. And I mean
I love
that.
working with Billy too, with a
I work-
combination.
and I got to tell you something. I have worked with a lot of singers, and you guys are just absolutely incredible. I opened up for the Crickets, minus Buddy Holly. I was out in Foxborough, and
The original Crickets?
yeah, the
Really?
original Crickets, and so I was on stage, and I had to do like 45 minutes, and they didn't show up yet, and so finally they took a little break, and I'm outside, I'm like, where are the Crickets? All of a sudden, this rickety old Winnebago that was, pulls up, and all of a sudden the door opens, and the stench that come out, and I go, guys, you're on in 5 minutes. He goes, oh my God, we need to take showers. We haven't showered in 3 days. I said, yeah, I can tell.
Come on. Was that bad?
Yeah, it was that, Joey, it was so bad, right? And I think they went on without showering. They just wore their tuxes.
Oh.
And they went on, yeah, oh my God.
Good Lord.
And then one night I opened up for the Marvelettes. You know the Marvelettes? You gotta wait a minute. Oh yeah.
That's a Beatle cover.
Yeah, it's a Beatle cover, right? And that's the Marvelettes. And the only thing I can remember about the Marvelettes is, gals, you should not be wearing spandex. Okay? So
Were they
throw
of
the
the-
spandex away.
Were they over a certain age?
Oh yeah.
And they were wearing spandex.
Oh my God! They all look like the Michelin Tiger.
the Tiger? Oh.
Yeah,
There comes an age when you have to just kind of retire the spandex,
yeah,
right?
oh, geez.
You would hope.
Hey, no, but some people just don't know.
No, I know. It's sometimes you want to bow down and thank God for yoga pants,
Oh.
and then other days, you're like,
I
what did you
love
do?
yoga pants. Oh my God!
Yeah.
That's why I do all the shopping at Stop and Shop, because I push that kind. Oh,
You're like Fonzie.
yoga pants.
So you miss
Yoga
Vegas.
pants.
Vegas is pretty much all done.
I got to tell you something. I was supposed to be there in August, and I was supposed to go to Laughlin, Nevada, to work, Arizona, San Diego, and it's all just gone. And it's heart wrenching. Nothing anybody can do. Will it come back? I don't know. I had 13 Christmas shows at the White Mountain Hotel.
Did I get you up there?
No,
No.
not the White Mountain Hotel.
Yeah, with Sullivan.
This is. Oh yeah, Sullivan. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I got you
got
in
me
there. I think
no,
I did.
no, I did. No,
You
no,
did?
no, somebody gave me a lead in that.
Okay.
And
'Cause I was already there
I was
when-
working in Montreal. I was working in Montreal, Canada. I drove all the way back from Montreal, and I stopped there, and I kind of auditioned for the owner. And then after that, he really
Carolyn,
Carolyn, yeah, and
what's the husband's
I
name?
can't remember. I know this
Nice
song.
people.
Yeah, great people.
I remember you telling me you were there, and I said,
Yeah.
I performed there.
Yeah.
What a ride that is.
Yeah.
That's a pain. That's
It
on
is.
Route
It's-
16,
yeah,
dangerous.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I would do that. I would do that show, sleep over,
Yeah.
and at 3:30,
Go to work.
4 in the morning, I'd get up in blizzards to drive to the post
Did
office.
you ever drive that road, Billy, Route 16?
No.
Up to Knockome. And that brings back a pretty horrific, tragic story. Johnny himself, and again, Johnny, Paul D'Angelo, Paul Gilligan, and Dave Russo. My ex-wife has a dance school, and she,
Shannon?
yeah, she,
Love that, Shannon.
she had a student that was killed in a car crash on 16.
That's I remember when
She
that
was
happened.
16 years old,
Yeah.
and this was about 2014. And we raised a lot of money for them at the Anthony's. So, you see what I mean? He's always there. You just call, Johnny's there, but
Yeah.
the other 4 guys were great too. In fact, when we have a picture with us, and we all look like slobs with jeans on. And you didn't get in the picture. He goes, I don't want to be in that picture, you bunch of slobs. Gilligan, D'Angelo, Russo, and me, all jeans. And he was dressed like Hassan. But yeah, that was
I'm sorry, folks.
Remember that night?
I'm old school entertainer.
That's the-
I like to dress. I mean, even tonight in this the condemned building.
No, but you remember that night, Johnny? The funny thing about it, Johnny comes on, and I had finished my set. I opened up, and I always have a jacket on, so this thing is bothering me. Anyway, I remember doing
You
Viva
keep
Las,
hitting the stupid thing and not gonna
Viva
know.
Las Vegas at the end of the night, and you come on, you started doing, did you like that, Joe? You ever see him dance? It's hysterical.
I told you, we even got him to do the moonwalk.
Yeah, but he was making fun of me that night.
Joey,
Viva
that
Las
is
Vegas.
one happy microphone. I'm going to tell you.
Oh, here we go, Paul. Good night, folks.
Oh God.
All right,
Leave it up
before we,
straight. That's
before,
why you're not doing it right.
all right, well, what do you do?
Fold it all the way in.
Oh, you
Look
go-
at
yeah,
mine.
that's it,
Look at
that's
mine.
good.
Look over here. Look at mine. See?
I'm looking at yours.
Look at mine. Over
I'm
here.
looking at yours.
All right.
Hey, it's like that.
It's all right. It looks like a personal problem. I don't know.
It could be.
You have this problem
No,
in other areas
Oh,
of your life?
wow, I didn't think that the Dunkin' Donuts
Coffee would be,
contained-
worth
By the
something.
way, Dunkin' Donuts.
Speaking of Dunkin' Donuts,
Yeah.
that's gotta be the funniest time the hardest I ever seen Johnny Pizzi
Oh,
laugh
my
in
God.
my lifetime. I don't know I don't think you could have laughed much more than that particular night. This is a story, and I told you the story.
You're gonna tell it?
No, I'm not telling it. I'm embarrassed. You want to tell it, but
I can't tell it like
all
you
I can
tell
say
it.
is, Johnny, I told him a story about
Shannon?
a romantic night.
Shannon, are you watching?
I
Are you
hope not.
watching, Shannon?
I hope not. But anyways, no, but that was something. I remember he got out of the seat at Dunkin' Donuts, and he was rolling around the wall.
Yeah.
You couldn't, he had a napkin in his face,
yeah.
and the napkin was getting, the tears were getting, the
Oh,
napkin
that was the
You remember that night?
Yeah, Joey was going to get romantic.
Well, I'm not a romantic guy. We know that. Anybody who
Yeah.
knows that knows me.
Joey's not a romantic guy. Hey, you, get over here.
10 minutes in Kowloon. That was a funny story. But anyway.
Wait, I gotta tell. Should I tell him the story about Quincy?
Oh.
Okay. This is a true story, and it does go down in the Entertainers Hall of Fame of the craziest stories. Billy, you know the story.
I'll let you know. I
All right.
don't know
So
if you're gonna go.
Joey, myself.
No, it was just you and me.
It was just Joey and I. I was just gonna say I wish Shannon was.
It was
there.
actually a Mother's Day, and I left and went to work, so.
All right. So this place was the Quincy Memorial Hall or something like that.
It was a temple. The
Was it?
Quincy Temple.
All right.
Beautiful,
So
big
it
building.
was 3 floors. So we were up in the third floor, and we had about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to showtime. So I got really bad butterflies in my stomach, and oh God, I had to go to the bathroom.
Lactate intolerant, maybe?
Yeah, I am
I am
that
too.
too. Yeah. So anyway, so you know, I go and I go to you know, you had to pull a thing down for the thing to flush, and when I pull it down, it all squirted up. it all like you wouldn't believe. Right? So now
You got shit-faced.
yeah, so I am covered in feces, and all of a sudden Joey comes up the
I was
stairs.
3 floors down,
Yeah.
actually, yelling up.
Yeah, he's going, come on, Johnny and Ron. And I'm going, Joey! And he comes walking up, and I go, look at me! I'm covered! and he literally fell down the stairs laughing.
But you forgot to tell him you had a white
Yeah.
outfit on.
I had white pants and a white shirt, and oh my God, yeah.
and
it
you
was-
weren't really laughing. You didn't think it was
my
that
God.
funny. All I remember him saying, "Oh no,
Yeah.
this ain't good."
Yeah, I'm going like this. This isn't good, Joey. This isn't good.
A blast.
He just was laughing and laughing.
Well, just like you were laughing
Oh,
at Dunkin'
I
Donuts.
had to take a shower in the sink. Oh, and then what happened was there was something wrong with the system. So when you flush it, it flew up like that. And the first time when I was sitting there, I flushed it and it come flying up. I go, what the? And stupid me, I get up to lean over and I do it again and it comes out. Oh, Jesus. So anyways, after the show, they have like a little party. And the owner of the place, the guy he goes to me, by the way, when you're upstairs, don't use the bathrooms. I went, too late.
Thanks for telling me.
Too late.
Oh, was that funny?
Oh my God.
A lot of fun. Now, when did you two guys meet? How many years back are you talking?
Oh my goodness.
80s?
Years, it's been, I want to say about 30 years ago.
Years, yeah.
1990.
About 30 years ago.
I remember seeing you sing one night at the, what was the name of the place over near the town line? It was like a restaurant.
Fernandes.
No.
No.
Begins with an S.
It was Sabatino's.
Sabatinos.
It was Sabatino's,
And
but it became the Villa Roma.
But it
That's
used to
where
be,
Yeah.
the original was Fernandes.
that was in the 90s. That was
Yeah.
like
Oh my God! I remember seeing you sing there one night.
The original was
Oh my
Fernandes.
God! And you were with your ex.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, what was her name?
Oh, I'm not saying.
Oh. They're ganging up on me, mister. I feel like what was it, in Cuckoo's Nest. By the way, what was I going to say? Are you lining up anything for the new year? Because a lot of people aren't even working for the new year either.
You know,
Nothing.
You know, I'm such in the dark with New Year's Eve.
Me neither.
Up in
Me too.
the Lots of Laughs in North Andover. They're doing the best they can. The Chinese restaurant there. What's the name? I can't think of the name of it.
Wuhan.
China Blossom.
China Blossom.
China Blossom.
Wuhan.
So they're still up and they're trying their best to. They'd love to reopen, but everybody's just a snail's pace and like that, and you don't know from 1 minute to the next. Your town goes into the red.
You're done.
You're done.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I look at you guys. You guys, like every other week, we're at the Continental singing.
I had 79. I had 79 dates. 79 dates.
The whole year.
Gone.
Yeah,
Gone.
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 Yeah.
Was you up at, were you up recently up at the Vineyard, Fulcini's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
up
there a couple of weeks
I
ago
think
with
it was
Dave.
up like I think it was there the week after you.
I was with Russo.
Yeah. And
By
that
the way,
was-
Dave Russo said he wants to come on. So I love getting comedians on here because, it just
but it
brings.
adds a little flavor.
Well, there's
you know
no
what I
clue
mean?
because
Yeah,
Bill-
because I'm a serious guy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh, real serious.
I'm a serious.
What do you
guy.
think, John? Before we close out
Him
this
and I
round,
we had when we did the show together, it was like we bounced off each other. We did a lot of.
Oh,
ad
God,
lib.
yeah, what
we
a-
had
what
lived
a-
each
what
other.
a- Theater?
We had good, yeah.
Theater.
We had it was fun because it's almost like I knew what he was going to do and he knew what I was going to
That's
do. And
important.
it was really
Yeah.
it was funny.
Yeah, it was awesome.
before we close out, would you mind doing a trick for the audience?
Would you like me to do it?
I would love it.
Please, absolutely.
Okay.
Now we'd love to.
Because we
Fine.
don't want to go too long time because people are going to be watching the debate at 9 o'clock and
Yeah.
Billy and I are going to try to get back for it too, right,
Yeah,
Billy?
I want to see it.
We'll be tweeting all night.
All right, so I'm going to do this card effect that I saw Harry Anderson do. This card effect. I've never done it sitting down before, so I hope it works out. So anyway, I saw Harry Anderson do this on Saturday Night Live over 35 years ago, and I loved it. And then about 10 years ago, I was on YouTube, and I saw it, and it took me 3 years to learn how to do this trick. And so I like to do it for our audience out there. So thank you, Harry the late great Harry Anderson, one of my favorites, and this is for you, Harry. You've all heard of the game called the 3-card Monte, the broad walk, the broad toss, the sidewalk shuffle, and chase the ace. It's a game where you've got to find the red queen mixed in with 2 black aces. Find the lady and you'll win plenty. 5 will get you 10, 10 will get you 20. Black, you lose. Red, you win. Other black, you lose again. You've all heard of the game. And if you've ever played it, it's a pretty tough hustle to beat because it's not actually the cards that you're playing against. It's the man who deals the game, which reminds me of a guy many years ago in East Boston, Maverick Square. His name was Iggy, and every Saturday, he'd come to Maverick Square on Saturday afternoon. He'd set up his table, and people came from all around to watch him deal the broad toss, the sidewalk shuffle. And I only got to see him 2 times, but I'll always remember him as the only man to play the 3-card Monte with 4 cards. It was his hook, you see. It was what separated him from all the rest. So now, even though you had to find the red queen mixed in with 3 black aces, the game was much tougher to beat, but the payoff was much better. Well, so sure enough, he's playing the game. He's just ready to play the game. And just as he's ready to deal, some rube in the crowd yells out, "Excuse me, but isn't that game supposed to be played with 3 cards instead of 4? He said, "Sure, if we could play with 4, we could play with 3. Just keep your eyes on the little red queen." Hey, diddle diddle, she's the one in the middle. Where is that red queen now? Well, the rube went ahead and picked that she was in the middle, and he walked away a loser. But I stuck around to watch some other folks play, and it seemed that no matter what card they selected, nobody could find that queen. Nobody was able to beat that dealer because he was good. He was real good. He was too good because he was cheating. Well, sure enough, I said to myself, I got to learn how to play this game. So that night I went home and I recreated the chain of events. Okay, he had 4 cards. And then some rube come and said, "Excuse me, but isn't that game supposed to play with 3 cards instead of 4? He said, "Sure. If we could play with 4, we could play with 3. Just keep your eyes on that little red queen. Hey, diddle diddle, she's the one in the middle. Where is that red queen now?" Well, it was at this point he made this move. Did you see that, folks? That was the move. Because once he made that move, there was no queen in his hand. There's never a queen in his hand because the queen is always right here. Well, sure enough, I was ready to bust this game open. And that night, I broke every piggy bank in my house. When my father wasn't looking, I took money out of his pocket. When my mother wasn't looking, I took money out of her pocketbook. But I was going to replace it and make enough money for me to go to college. So sure enough, that next day, I went down to Maverick Square, and I was ready to play. And so, as soon as he was ready to deal the cards, I said, "Excuse me, but isn't that game supposed to be played with 3 cards instead of 4? He said, "Sure. If we could play with 4, we could play with 3. Just keep your eyes on the little red queen. Hey, diddle diddle, she's the one in the middle. Where is that red queen now?" Well, ladies and gentlemen, he made his move, and I made mine. I put all my money down the table. I said, "The queen is right here." Well, he just looked at me and he laughed, and I learned something that day. I learned that you never eat at a place called Mom's. You never play cards with a man called Iggy. But most of all, ladies and gentlemen, what I learned, that a fool and his money will soon be parted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
Johnny
great.
Pizzi, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we're going to call it.
We're gonna we're gonna call it a night. But
Thank you, Johnny
remember, once
Pizzi, for
again,
coming here
don't
tonight.
My
forget-
pleasure.
Don't forget Ted Cruz's book, One Vote Away. Grab it.
Bring us out with America.
Again, share this if you didn't share it while it was live. I hope you share it because we're gonna obviously post it. Hit that share button. We want to get as many views as we can at some point, and eventually this is going to be like the Tonight Show. So we're hoping you liked it. We hope you enjoyed it. I was kind of quiet tonight. You guys have so much chemistry together and stories from.
Well,
the time
we have
that
a
you were
lot
together.
of funny.
You guys, a lot of years that you guys were actually together.
Working.
So that works out great.
Well, thank you, Johnny Pizzi, again. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the debate tonight, and we'll see you next Wednesday night.
Next
Who we have
Wednesday
anyway?
night.
Everybody,
I haven't decided yet.
yeah. How about Shannon?
Let's get shit.
Let's get Shannon on the show.
Enjoy the debate. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Bring it out with the music, baby.
Ah.